Welcome back to Utah Adventures with Mike. I'm back with a new microphone to make my voice more clear and a sinus infection to make it sound worse. Millions of years of harsh elements eroded the San Rafael Swell into a wild, broken array of sandstone. Wind and water carved this whole area into incredible formations like buttes, canyons, pinnacles, and mesas, making the swell one of the most ruggedly beautiful pockets of terrain in the world. Our first stop was the northern rim of the Little Grand Canyon. From up here, it doesn't look like a mountain range. It looks like the land just broke. That's because the San Rafael Swell isn't a range at all. It's a lifted dome of rock, a geologic bulge near 75 miles long. The swell is approximately 2,000 square miles of desert. For context, the state of Rhode Island is about 1,545 square miles. This is one of the most remote places in the state of Utah. My friend Russ and I spent an entire day driving and hiking through here and didn't see another person until we got back to Interstate 70. Some of the rock exposed here formed before the first dinosaurs. Here you can see the Green River below, named for its color, which is caused by sediment scattering light, not pollution or algae. This is the Wedge, a solid chunk of sandstone jutting into the canyon, showing us another glimpse of just how big this really is. The swell was once a common place for native people to live and work. There are petroglyphs, pictographs, and ruins dating back thousands of years. Given the size of the swell, many sites remain undiscovered. This cave was likely an ancient shelter, indicated by the soot-covered ceiling. Although covered in modern graffiti today, it was a vital place for survival before. There is no visible evidence of ancient artwork here, and this type of alcove is less commonly used for art. Still, when you come visit these places, don't contribute to this, please. The features you see here are caused by thousands of years of wind-blown dust pushing up against the rock. As we followed Buckhorn washed deeper into the swell, the cliffs rose up, the colors deepened, and the feeling of isolation grew. Along the Buckhorn Wash pictograph panel, we see art from both the Barrier Canyon tradition and the Fremont people, and shows how different their style of art was. Some of what we see here are pictographs, painted directly onto the rock using mineral pigments mixed with binders like plant sap or animal fat. Others are petroglyphs, carved into the stone itself by pecking or incising the dark desert varnish that naturally forms on sandstone over time. There are many interpretations of what these figures may represent. Some believe they are spiritual figures or possibly shamanistic, but considering that most of them are around 4,000 years old, it's impossible to tell for certain. These images are best seen in shadow. Since it was a sunny day, I tried to edit the images so they're more visible. This one makes me think of an old man with a cane. The San Rafael Swinging Bridge was built in 1931 by the Civilian Conservation Corps to provide access for ranchers and travelers. Before the bridge was built, people wishing to cross the river had to hope for good weather to ford the rushing water. Approximately 200 feet across, this bridge is one of only a few surviving suspension bridges in Utah from that era. One of many sinkholes in the swell, but probably the easiestly accessible. Groundwater continues to erode away the ground. When enough is gone, the surface above collapses. The swell is still changing. With as frequently as I smash the bottom of my car, I'm starting to think that I might need something with more ground clearance. One of the most well-known rock art sites in the San Rafael Swell is the Black Dragon. Painted high on a cliff face along the San Rafael River, the figures here are part of the Barrier Canyon-style tradition, the same broad artistic culture seen at Buckhorn Wash. For many years, one section of the panel was believed to depict a large winged creature. Early observers thought the shape resembled a dragon or even a petrosaur. The name Black Dragon comes from that interpretation. Thank you for joining me again, and I'll see you out there.